Happy July. I am one of those dorks who absolutely loves it when Monday falls on the first day of a new month. Karen and I were jamming out to two of my favorite songs for She Jumped On Early. So if you ever need a little pick me up, this does it for me. Better When You're Dancing by Meghan Trainor and Don't Give Up by Andy Grammer. So those two songs are kind of my go-to for let's get up and get moving. So we had the doorbell ring at 4:15 this morning. And of course, it was the Ring motion detector. And of course, at 4:15 in the morning, I'm like hitting my husband, go see, like who's trying to break in our house? Like we're up and adrenaline's going. And it was Amazon. And I was like, oh, to be such a committed Amazon driver that they are dropping off packages at 4:15 in the morning. And so then I couldn't go back to sleep. And so I rolled over at I think it was 7. And my middle kid already has a story that he's drinking his active and headed to the gym. I didn't even hear him leave. I'm like, what's gotten into these people? Can we please just stay in bed? So apparently the world wants us to get it together and get rocking and rolling with our day and our life because it's Monday and it's July 1st. So welcome for everybody jumping on. We are going to go through all of the July incentives. Quick note, I am not a details person. You got an email. All you have to do is search Plexus July in your inbox or go to the incentives tab in the back office, and it's all spread out. Like you'll have your bullet points with your pictures. And then if you click view details, it will literally give you every single detail. I'm going to hit the highlights for what we need to be focusing on, but I'm going to share a few stories with you as per usual. As everybody's jumping on, I would love for you guys to drop in the chat one thing you're celebrating from June. Okay, it does not have to be a rank up. What is one thing that you are really proud of for June? I will tell you, I posted, I'm still closing all 3 rings. Now, yesterday, helping Logan go silver, I did not hit 10,000 steps, and I'm very sad about that. Because I had been closing all 3 rings and hitting 10,000 steps every day. And so my watch just gave me a new challenge for July that I need to get my butt moving a little bit more. But I would love for you guys to get in the chat, shout out what you are excited about, what you are proud of yourself for. And I want you guys to remember the gap versus the gain and how you're viewing where you are. You're going to see rank up posts. You're going to see everybody who's, celebrating all the things. And that can sometimes trigger us to say, well, that didn't happen for me. And you start viewing yourself in the gap, which is the distance between how far away from where you wanted to be versus the gain. Let's focus on what did I learn, right? Am I moving steps forward with whatever? Did I reach out to twice as many people that I ever have before in a month? Grab onto what those baby step things are, and let's shift that to what we gained for knowledge in June that we can take forward and move ahead with us in July. But I wanted to share with you guys, I'm sure you guys probably saw, because this is my most liked post yet of the year. Logan went fast start silver yesterday. So he went to convention with us. It was super, super fun and exciting to have him there with us. This has been kind of that season of, he's 18, he graduated, he's going to school to college for marketing. And it was kind of like, you've seen this life, as you've grown up your whole life, like me being an entrepreneur and all of the things. If you want this lifestyle, I will teach you what I know. And it took him a while. Like he signed his first VIP months and months and months ago, and then nothing ever happened. I was like, dude, I'm not doing this for you. And I'm not upgrading you until you legit are like ready to go. So he went to convention, came home from convention. He said, Mom, I'm ready. Let's do this. He's been very good about listening to podcasts. So I'm getting to practice like this back to the basics, which is what I'm going to bring to you guys a little bit today. And so he signed somebody on June 27th, and I upgraded him on June 27th. And he signed somebody the 27th, the 29th, and the 30th. So he fast started silver in 4 days, technically 3 days. And it was way harder than we both thought it was going to be. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of insight and tips and tricks into this because I think I have one of those, you guys have seen me do this all the time. Like, of course, you know what to do. And I'm reminding myself, maybe I don't even know exactly what to do. And that I need to be continuously saying, this is what we do and how we do it and why we do it. And having Logan literally sitting in this chair with me all weekend, working his new business, I had some really key takeaways that I wanted to share with you. Thank you guys so much. We'll get to the chat and all of those things. But yes, Laura, awesome. So excited. So I'm going to really quick say shout out to Laura, and y'all raise your hand if you were on the Sunday night opportunity call last night. Laura jumped on like super last minute. She's like, I still have my grandkids here, but I'm showing up. And I was like, you go. She had invited, and a gal that was not able to jump on, we still did the most amazing three-way chat after the call was over. And she's like, yep. And it was like, I'm ready, like, let's go. So Laura, I hope that that was a really good positive reinforcement. I will look for the link when we get to work, Karen, and I'll see if it's on our Diamond page yet. But it was a good reminder that we have tools and things in place. If you do the work of showing up and planting the seeds and inviting, that third party is going to be able to give you the validation that you need to say all the things that maybe you've been saying, and your friend is like, yeah, whatever. And then they hear it from Alita or Phil was amazing, or Megan. And then they're like, oh, yeah, this is exactly what I need. And it's like, I've been telling you that, but you had to hear from somebody else. And they said exactly the same thing that I have been saying. So anyway, please, you guys plug into those calls. It was literally 16 minutes. Okay. We all have 16 minutes on a Sunday. Now, what you do before and after the call is where the success comes. And one of the biggest chapters that I read, oh, I forget what book, the difference on announcing versus inviting. Anybody can throw up a graphic in their story. That's called announcing. Inviting is, hey, Laura, I was thinking about you. You know, we've chatted a little bit about how you're a little bit stressed about your finances. I would love to invite you to jump on a quick 15-minute call with me and see if maybe what I do is something that you would be open to looking at. Would you be open to getting on that call with me? And I can send you the Zoom link. Like, super chill. Like, I've been thinking about you. I want to personally invite you. When I get any kind of random copy and paste or something that's not personal, I don't even entertain it. But if somebody says, hey, Sarah, I've been thinking about you and this is why, I'll at least read what they want me to read. And then I will respond and say, thank you for thinking of me and thank you for personally inviting me. I'm not currently interested in changing companies, buying your makeup, whatever the case might be, but you get my attention because you thought enough to give me a personal invitation. So it goes both ways. I've been on the receiving end of the hey girl copy and paste messages. I'm like, sorry. Now, I will tell you, I have been known to say, hey, this is the worst message I've ever gotten. Is this a copy and paste and you don't even know who you're messaging? Would you mind me sharing with you what message actually would have gotten my attention? I actually like tell them, you did it wrong, but if you had messaged me this way, I would have entertained what you were asking. So announcing versus inviting, put that on your list for something that you really want to get good at. So the other thing is, if you have not listened to Jim Rohn's Building Your Network Marketing Business, it's free on YouTube. It's an hour. It's his whole book on audio. I actually think it's just an audio, a talk. I listened to that 107 times in my first few. I mean, there was literally a day where I listened to it 3 times in one day. In the parable of the sowing of the seeds that he takes from the Bible and then talks about how that translates to network marketing with sharing and reaching out and following up. This is exactly what happened to me and Logan last night. And so I'm going to share this story with you. But when you hear it in the mind of reverberating back anyway. Okay. When you hear it as far as I'm sharing, I'm reaching out, I'm sharing, I'm reaching out, and nothing is happening and you get discouraged. It's called Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. I'll see if I can find the link. When you can put it in the perspective of, oh, isn't that interesting? Oh, they went and joined a different company, or, oh, they don't want what I have because they XYZ. We fill up the stories in our brains, and that's not usually the case. So the benefit for Logan is the 3 people that decided to enroll with him to help him go Fast Start Silver are all people who have seen the seeds that I have planted. They're all people that I have had relationships with. One of them had gotten samples from me a year ago. But they all 3 started to see Logan posting and they're like, we want to support him and we would like to join him, which was totally fine. But at 9:15 p.m. last night, he had 5 share carts out for people who had said, I like what you're sharing. I'm interested. Send me the information. So he's like over the moon. He's like, we're going to fly past this goal. Well, 9:15 p.m., we still only have 2 people. And he's like, Mom, like, I don't get it. Like, who can we ask? Who can help us? And I'm like, okay, first of all, tip number 1, it's not about us and our timeline and our deadline. It's about them. And he was already shifting into that, desperately wanting to hit this goal just to hit this goal. And when people said, I don't want to order this or I'm not going to do the combo, he's like, how do we make them do it? And I'm like, we don't. We love them where they are. And we say, great, if you want to start with one product, I would be happy to get you started there. Now I taught him a little bit about, giving the verbiage for VIP, bundling it with a combo. You're basically getting 1 or 2 products free when you bundle it that way. Give 10 code, all the things. Like we went through all of that. But at 9:15, I said, okay, who has shopping carts that has not replied? And we went through the list and I said, okay, this one, she's been on the website before and had some issues. So we're going to message her for a 4th time. Now, follow up 1, 2, and 3 after she said, yes, I want it. Yes, send me a cart. Yes, I'm going to order. The next 3 messages over the weekend went unresponded to. Okay. So he was like, Mom, are we really going to message her again? I said, you better believe we are. So I said, here's what you're going to say. And he's like, here, you take my phone. I was like, okay, awesome. We're going to do this together. So he was sitting right there and I was sitting right here. And I said, hey, I know we sent you a shopping cart. I just wanted to check in and make sure you were not having any issues with our website. Is there anything I can help you with? Immediately, oh my gosh, I thought it was too late. Yes, I'm having issues with the website. We walked her through where she had gotten stuck. Boom. I guess goosebumps. She was like, I was just going to call you tomorrow. And so she was grateful that we happened to be up working our businesses. And it was the 4th one. Y'all, 3 of the follow-up messages in the last 24 hours she had seen and not responded to. How many of us are going to get stories in our head that, oh my gosh, we're being annoying. We're bugging them. They don't want to hear from us. She's never going to want to talk to me again. No, that 4th one of offering good customer care and support, even before she became a customer, she's probably going to be one of his best customers. I'm just going to put that out there. And I am so excited that we stuck with it. But I will tell you guys, my palms were sweating. Like I'm like back in the trenches of teaching him all of these things. And I'm like, I'm shining this new flashlight on myself for I've just been telling people to do things and I'm taking for granted that I've got 13 years of no's under my belt, right? And so I started getting a little sweaty for him. And so as soon as we realized there was frustration, then she thought she was going to wait till tomorrow anyway. And then like a half an hour later, almost 10 p.m., he gets a text with a screenshot and she says, I did it. My order went through. And it was the screenshot of your order, congratulations on your order. He jumped up and he high-fived me and he's like, Mom, we did it. Like it was the best ever. So all of that to be said, it was seeds that had already been planted. It was follow-ups that took 6, 7, 8, 10 touch points. Even after she had the cart and said, yes, I'm going to order, it still took 4 more follow-ups after she had already said yes. And now the shift today is, let's just not make it about numbers where we're just adding as many VIPs as we can, because today is when the good customer care starts. Today is when our retention system starts. And last week I went over all of the PDFs that are in our chat about customer care and retention. And day 1 on that printout, add them to your community, whatever Facebook group community. We're going to do a handwritten thank you note. We're going to make sure she knows what products are coming and how she's going to get started so we can send them a graphic for that. Like this is when the work starts on getting them to fall in love with what we shared. So I really, really would love for you guys to listen to that Jim Rohn audio. And anytime you're feeling like, I can't do this, or this is hard, or this is discouraging, he puts it in such a good light for we are changing lives and we just have to commit to the process and trust the process of what might be required. For anybody that was at convention who heard the Iron Cowboy, I'm like, if he can do an Iron Man with a broken back, like I have nothing to complain about in my life at all. Okay. Does anybody have any questions, comments, thoughts, or anything about that before I move on to like this? It's game on, you guys. We're halfway through the year. We are going to finish strong, and I'm going to go over the July incentives for how it can set you up for success. But does anybody have anything they want to add, jump in with? No, y'all are good. Okay, speak now. Jump in if you can. Okay, so when this Power Hour was started 3 years ago with Jennifer Leith, and then I, kind of partnered with her in that. It was centered around winning the day. And Genevieve Scory is our amazing VP of all things, training, field, everything. And so her Gold School 7 Steps to Winning the Day is really what was foundational. And it's like, I always keep looking over here because it's on my bulletin board. And it's one of those things that those 7 steps don't change. Who you're talking to and how you interact with those 7 steps is what changes. So do me a favor in the chat, tell me how long you've been with Plexus. And I think that's one of those things where whether you're brand new or like me, getting close to 14 years in this business, these 7 things don't change. Wow. Okay. 5. Good. 3, 10. Wow. Oh, 9 months. So glad you're here. Where's Melissa? I don't see Melissa. Oh, you don't have your camera on. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so glad you're showing up. That's wonderful. 7 years, 8 years, 5 years, 4 years. Yeah. So a lot of us, it's been like, oh my gosh, are we going to talk about the same thing again? Yes, we're going to talk about the same thing again. And Melissa, good for you for being here in your first year. That's so exciting. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So 7 steps. And this PDF is in our chat somewhere. You guys can, if you have access to it and want to drop it again for the new people, that would be great. But number 1, sow seeds for later. What does that look like? And this is one of those things where if you can consistently show up every day, it is going to sow seeds. Now, this is not just posting on social media about Plexus or getting in your stories about Plexus. This is all the things. This is samples. This is living a healthy lifestyle outwardly. This is all the things that are going to be touch points and sowing seeds for whatever your network is. Liking posts of people that follow, comment, following hashtags, starting conversations. And that was another thing is Logan is getting great engagement on his Instagram, but he has started 0 conversations. I'm like, okay, we're going to sit down and go through who saw your last story. And anybody that's not already, he went through and friended a whole bunch of my friends. I'm like, no. You're starting your own network. Like, you don't have to worry about my friends. But anybody that's not Plexus, like, let's start some conversations. So he actually has now started some conversations with people who are like, hey, I just had to start following you because you are so consistent with your workouts and I really want to get lean. Can you tell me what you're doing? And I'm like, boom. There you go. This is how you're going to add value to your network. They see you showing up consistently in your workouts and how you're fueling your body, and you can share with them what you are doing. So we talked about starting conversations and all of that. All of those are seeds that are being sown, seeds that are getting sown. Number 2 is adding value. So this is another thing that I really talked to Logan about is like, how are you showing up? What can you give and how can you add value? Remember, it might just be an encouragement. It might be a happy birthday. It might be I'm praying for you. It might be you noticed somebody had a need and you went and filled that need, whatever the case might be for that. But being intentional about adding value, I think is super, super important. I love with Alex Hermosi, he's like, you need to give so much value and care to your network that they're finally going to come and say, can I please pay you something for something because you're so helpful and you're always giving away such great free stuff. Like, we want people to say, that we filled a pain point or a need. So adding value is just a great thing. And a lot of times in social media world, it's just being friendly, being positive, being encouraging, being authentic and real, where somebody doesn't feel alone in whatever situation they're going through. So there's no right or wrong there. It's whatever you feel like you can show up in serving somebody. Okay, this is where it gets to the nitty gritty. Introducing 3 people to your Plexus vision. Actively searching for people, communicating in a variety of ways, and trusting the system. So this is literally like reaching out and saying, hey, I can't stop thinking about the fact that I think you'd be amazing at what I do. Have you ever considered taking a look? Just literally saying, hey, I know that you need a new car. What are your thoughts about dreaming big and like doing this thing with me? And we can talk about a free Lexus. Or, painting that vision, casting that vision. And it can be for people who haven't joined you yet, but I also want to encourage you, all of the people who have joined you, planting those seeds of vision for what's possible will be key in helping somebody understand that they can take those baby steps and move forward. Okay. Um, so really it's just whatever you commit to, however many people you want to talk to, but this says adding value to 3 people and then showing placing the vision with 3 people consistently, daily, weekly, whatever you want that to be. Okay, the chunk of this 7 ways to your winning the day is she has time blocked an hour for this. This would depend on your goals and if you work full time, if you do Plexus full time, whatever that looks like. She has an hour. Moving people to the next step in the relationship, which is exactly what Logan and I spent time doing. Who have you never shared with that you need to share with? Who have you shared with that you need to follow up with? Who has gotten samples that you need to follow up with and say, did you get my samples? Did you take my samples? What did you think about the samples? Whatever the next step is, you enrolled, but you haven't shared your referral link yet. Do you want to do a shout out post? You did your shout out post and now you've got 5 comments. You need to start conversations with all of those people who've commented and move them to a 3-way chat. Somebody just went silver. We've gotten them to that first step. Do they want to go senior silver? Casting that vision for what? So moving people to the next step in the relationship, you should all have lists. You should all have, I just realized I jumped into the training without giving you the July incentives. So hold on tight. We will get to this. This is all how we are going to utilize the July incentives, but you should have lists, chicken lists, people who would be amazing dream teamers that I am too scared to talk to, but I'm going to talk to this month. People I have talked to who have said no thank you. Maybe it was a timing thing. There are diamonds in our company who said no thank you for 3, 4, and 5 years until the timing is right and they said yes, and then they went diamond. You should have lists of people who have gotten samples or said they were going to order and have a share cart and have not. You should have lists of all of your brand new VIPs from the last 60 days. Where are you with your customer care and retention? Then you should have lists of, do I have team members who are wanting to go for their next rank and how am I helping them? This could be hours of your day, okay? But moving people to the next step in the relationship, it has to be intentional and it has to be proactive. There are less than 3%. I would say probably 1% of people that enroll are going to say, I see this, I want this, I'm going to do this, whether you tell me to or not to. I mean, there's very few people are going to say, oh, I'm going to go make a post with my product. Oh, I'm going to go message people. Like they're not going to just naturally do that. But if we suggest it to them, I have an amazing gal who's loving her products. And I said, hey, you're loving your products. You just got your next order. What would you think about doing a quick selfie with your products and posting it? And she's like, well, I actually just took a selfie with my shake today. I was like, perfect. Did you post it? And she said, no. I was like, okay, would you mind posting it? She was like, sure. What should I say? I typed up 3 sentences. I was like, say this. She was like, oh, that's really good. Okay. 30 seconds. Okay, I posted it. I tagged you too. It's all it took was the suggestion. She even took the picture. She wasn't going to post it by herself. So we need to be proactive and intentional with anybody that's on our list anywhere. And I'm not going to make you guys raise your hand, but it would make me very proud if you guys have lists, if you have lots of pieces of paper with lots of names. And it's July now. So I just ripped off my July desk calendar and all my names from January, February, March, April, May, and June. All the names that were on the side, people that I'm pouring into, engaging with, all that, who didn't enroll, their names got moved over to July. The list just keeps on rolling because the timing wasn't right. And one day the timing is going to be right. Okay. Next step, third-party validation and social proof. And that's all of the things that we talked about with inviting people to the next company call, the next webinar, the next Sunday night call, the next messenger event. They need to hear it from somebody else and somebody that's already said it. So sending them a Dr. Hartman video. That can look a million different ways, but keep it simple. Be the messenger and not the message. Use a video, use a call, use a 3-way chat. Let somebody else validate that for you. If they still have objections, I would overcome those objections with the feel, felt, found. Send them a testimony. Keep dripping. If it's not their time, put them on your customer page and say, awesome, I'd love for you to check things out. No worries if it's not time right now. And then they'll be getting dripped on with whatever your customer page is or all that. Last thing is duplication. A business cannot grow without duplication. Spend time teaching people on your team, the new business builders, how you are doing things and make it your goal to get other people where you are. That is huge. And it will be different for all of us. Like some of you don't have anybody pushing for gold or senior gold on your team. Some of you are still just trying to go gold yourself, which is totally fine. But the duplication key is using those systems. Like I said, the Christine and Brittany system is perfect. There's no reason you shouldn't be using that and adapting it for yourself if you don't already have something in place that's working. So that step by step, this is how we do it. This is where we plug in. These are the resources and go from there. So I wanted to kind of go back to that because it's been a while since we, established this is where we are, this is where we show up, and this is what we do. So when we say we're going to do green light encouragement, and we know that we're all going to get on Messenger, and anybody who's currently active, we're going to add value to them and wish them happy birthday and all those things. That's part of the sowing seeds. These 7 steps for winning the day don't ever change. They just change with who you're talking to and where you are in the process. All of that being said, when we talk about the July incentives, and this is what reminded me with Logan, was he just wanted to jump in and sign 3 people, and he hadn't sown the seeds. He hadn't added enough value. He had not introduced people specifically to the vision. We went through this whole list, and I was like, okay, you're jumping in and you're excited, and I'm so excited about this. But here's why somebody might not be looking at your messages. Here's why it's feeling a little bit harder, because we have to establish all of this. So he's like, okay, what should I put in my stories? Like he had been doing some reels, he was still showing up. And then he's like, okay, mom, I have these 5 people. I want to message them. They're in a college sorority. They need money. He started thinking of names on his own and wanted to start casting that vision for, hey, we're 18. Let's be entrepreneurs together. Let's go do this thing. So he started to get a little bit of that vision for himself, and then plugging him into the ways that we win our day. Now we're going to take the ball and run. So this morning he was like, what do I need to go senior silver? You need 9 orders, right? Level 1 orders, which means the 3 people that you enrolled from last month, we need to do good customer care so that they will order again this month, right? So that then you only need 6. So we set the goal this morning, 6 new VIPs that you are going to bring in, and you will go fast start senior silver. Okay, how are we going to do that? We're going to rinse and repeat this whole process, right? Okay, so as always, we have the Give 10, which is the 10% off that you can do. Correct, Catherine. I did not upgrade him when he did that very first one months ago. It was his guidance counselor that he had a crush on. Because she was just helping him out. That was just one of those things. They're like, we're waiting until you're 18 and we're waiting until you graduated. But I knew he wasn't ready. He had not asked me any questions about the business. And I knew he wasn't ready. So I told him, I'm not upgrading you until this is your business, because I'm not doing it for you. So Give 10 is the code that we can use for new enrollments over 100 PV. It's going to give them the 10% off. Save 10. This is one of your lists. People who had ordered previously who did not order in June. You can now come back and say, hey, June maybe got busy. Maybe you were on vacation. You forgot to order. Let's make sure you get consistent with your products, because these were the goals that you mentioned to me. I have a coupon code for you if you're ready to get back started on your program or consistency or whatever. So that's another reason to check in. You're adding value and giving somebody something so that they can go in and get their order. Liberty for 4th of July, July 1st through the 7th, the Refresh and Replenish pack, which by the way is Logan's absolute favorite, Slim Active Hydrate. You're going to get a bag of Slim, 2 bags of either Active or Hydrate, and then 1 bag of whichever other one you want. It is $17.76 off that combo for the first week of July. Okay. So if you have somebody who doesn't want to do the detox, if you have somebody who says, I don't care about Restore, if you're like, nobody's biting about anything, it's summer, it's hot, and everybody needs Slim Active Hydrate. And if you do like we did, Slim Active Hydrate in a clear 32-ounce cup with tons of ice. It looks just like all those loaded tea shops, and everybody's drinking that saying it's amazing. Ours is better, ours is healthier, and ours is cheaper. So run with that. But that's just July 1st through the 7th. Okay, Retain and Grow. This was launched. If you guys saw some posts about the Ninja Creamy, you can earn one. The Retain and Grow is going to be a summer retention series. So in June, if you enrolled 4, now in July, if you retain 3 of those, and then also get 4 more in July, you will earn your Creamy. So you can add 4, retain 3 from June. Or if you're like, I missed that, I didn't hit my goal in June, it's okay. You can add 4 and help one of those go silver, and you will earn your Creamy. Okay. The add 4, retain 3 is setting you up for success for when we launch the Bahamas Cruise Leaders Retreat. You will already have people in your funnel that will count towards retention credits. Okay. September 1 will hit, and you will already have credits towards that cruise. Okay. Add 4, retain 3, rinse and repeat. If you need to add 4 and get a new level 1 to silver, that's part of that. Like I said, go to your email, read the details, all the things. But nobody wants to be on a hamster wheel, you guys. How many of us do not want to keep adding the same people over and over and not watch our points go forward, right? So this retention piece is key. Go to page 1 of customer care from Brittany and Christina's system, step by step, laid out. Day 1, this is what I say. Day 3, this is what I say. Day 7, this is what I say. And not only do they have their system, they give you pages of this is what we say. The wording is there. You can make it your own. Everyone's frozen. You guys still there? Oh. You guys still with me? Can you guys still hear me? I don't know if it's just me or y'all. Now we'll get to see if the recording is going to work from the first 30 minutes. I totally just got kicked off my own computer. That's always fun. And you guys stayed. How exciting is that? Okay. So retain and grow. Make sure that you go back and look through, add 4, retain 3, all of that. Rank rewards, when you add 3 and maintain your rank from June, you've got that kicking in. And then double business building bonuses for any new VIP that upgraded in June or will upgrade in July. So maybe you've got somebody who's never shared their referral link and needs to upgrade. When they upgrade, moving forward in this month, they will get double business building bonuses, which is something that can be huge for if somebody's looking to make some quick extra money. Those weekly bonuses, letting people know that when you enroll new people and you yourself are a new upgrade, you will get double business building bonuses. So here's what I want to tell you. When I joined, we didn't have any of this. I joined for $39.95 with 0 coupons, and I never asked for a special or a discount. The amount of sales deals and discounts that corporate gives us is astonishing. It's mind-blowing. I want you guys to get really, really good and focused on, even if there weren't specials, joining for $9.95 and plugging into the Fast Start program and everything that Compensation Plan already has, or just being a consistent VIP, and the perks that you earn towards free product credit. I mean, just that in and of itself is enough. So I want you to be bold and confident that we are sharing something that people need. And you don't have to throw extra discounts, extra giveaways. Plexus is handing us an opportunity in business on a silver platter and giving us all the bells and whistles that are just fun, that are reinforcing the behaviors that will build you a strong team. So I just want you guys to realize what we have, because it's pretty dang incredible. And if you only highlight the incentives that corporate is offering, that's enough. Now, if you're pushing for a huge goal, it's July. What happens in July, right? July is the magic month of qualifying for Maui this year. you know, some people do team incentives and team giveaways, and you get a t-shirt for this. And I'm totally cool. I think that's, great for pushing for those big goals. But I just want you to remember that you can be confident in how you share with what we have, because our products are worth it. Our products are very competitively priced, and they are changing people's lives. So, um, thank you for sticking with me with the bad Wi-Fi. Fingers crossed that the first 30 minutes of the recording worked. I don't know what it's going to do when it cut me off and came back. Um, get to that email so you can read the details of these incentives, and do not leave your butt out of your chair until you say, this is my July goal. Now, like for Logan, yes, we hit silver, but that meant he messaged 25 people yesterday. That was a goal. I was like, dude, just start messaging people, start adding value, post a reel, post a story. I asked him to go live. He didn't do that, but whatever, it doesn't have to be a rank up goal. Okay. So I want you to be thinking, what is my July goal? Where do I want to be? How many people do I want to talk to? How many people do I want to bring with me? All of those things, and decide what your strategy is going to be for how you're going to share, how you're going to show up, all of the things. Okay. I know I talked this whole time, but it's Monday and it's July 1st. So I feel like I got a free day to kind of lay all of that out there. I want you guys to commit, grab your calendar and say, what are 30-minute time blocks of power half hours that I can sit down, set a timer and say, ready, set, go. Where can I cast vision? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to map to their next goal? Who do I need to plant seeds for? Do I need to show up and do a story in a reel? I'm going to challenge you. Get in your phone and talk to your followers, talk to your friends, talk to your people in your stories if you have not done that, if you're not good at that. And just get comfortable with adding value and showing up. And when all else fails, listen to Andy Grammer and Megan Trainor, put some cute earrings on, and go tackle your goals. Love you guys. Thanks so much.